And we are back. It's been a little bit once again. Welcome back to Tailgate Talk, episode 2. First one I actually filmed in 2019. So I think for this one I need to kind of recap what's gone on the past 6 months, all of 2019 up to this point. Like I said, the last one was filmed September of last year, and I haven't really talked a lot about what's just some of the things I've been up to this year since January. And I ended up coming out to Bakersfield. I ended up really just, trying to recoup and get back on my feet. So it started off with me trying to get a job. I guess I'll start back in January. Come a long way since then. But in January, I was trying to look for a job. As much as I didn't want to get a day job, and I dreaded it even, I knew I had to, at least kind of get back on my feet for a little bit and just kind of get some sort of stuff going. God, I hate how much money has to drive this business. It really sucks. It's kind of draining having to focus on that. And when you realize how much of this is fueled solely on money and how it fucks up with it fucks with your head. But January, I guess it was beginning of February, I actually got the job working at a bar and grill up here, a pretty well-known place up here. And I never worked food before, never worked in the, service industry. I worked retail and I had fun with that back in the day, but this is my first time food industry. Started off as a trainee for server, and I was pretty stoked about that because I was like, well, push comes to shove, I can learn how to do this, and it's hard to get training for that in LA, so I might as well get it while I'm out here in Bakersfield. No experience, so they were willing to train me, so I was like, cool. Super cool country place. They had live bands, they had people coming up to tie their horses off and shit, and it was a good time. And I was there, people were cool, it was fairly chill, interesting crowd, got to meet cool people and stuff, and I did that for 3 months, working my way into learning how to serve, taking orders, running beers and stuff, and I left before I really did any bartending training, but I got to work around the bar and learn a lot of that. I was expecting to be there for a lot longer than that, but then that's when, as some of you may know, I was blessed in being cast in my first national commercial. Completely crazy. Went to audition in a group of friends, all for just line dancers, which was a background role, but it still offered a buyout, it still offered stuff, and it's still a hard enough gig to get. Anytime you can get in a commercial, especially like me, when I've never been in a commercial before, I only did theatrical shit. It was a big deal. I was excited, just was gonna go have a fun audition. Hadn't been on a commercial audition really. So went and did it, we had fun, line dancing like we always do, and got called back, and me and my friend Kelly, we got cast in this commercial together. And I'm skimming over it, but it was definitely a crazy experience. It doesn't make sense to me still to this day how that happened. It's one of those, you just have to be, I guess, ready for the opportunity, and I'm never going to be one of those people that says, oh, that's all you have to do, you just have to wait for the opportunity. You can't wait for it. You have to keep going, and it's consistency and mental determination just to keep doing it yourself, and then an opportunity comes. You can't just sit there and say, oh, I don't know when an opportunity is coming, but I'm going to be ready for it. No, you have to be pursuing it. I definitely learned that. And surely enough, once I was back to pursuing acting, considering I hadn't really auditioned when I was working a day job, and that was kind of a crutch of having a day job, as much as it sucks, and that's the hard part of doing it. You have to work around somebody else's schedule, and when you're auditioning, you have an audition, and you have a callback, and then you have shoot dates, so they put you on a veil, and you have to be available, and it's hard to do when you have a day job if it's not flexible. This one, luckily, they were cool about it, so I had no real issues there, but just mentally, it's hard to have to look to somebody else to give you approval to do what you love. It's hard to explain, but when I got that commercial and that happened, I was like, just cloud nine. I still can't even word it. It still doesn't even seem real. If you want to see the commercial, check my last video. I'd show it and talk about it briefly, and I'm going to do a longer in-depth video about it. But it was just a blessing. I thank God every day since probably for it, and it was just a blessing. It really was. And it was one of those things I kind of felt like sometimes you just have something happen and you're like, okay, this is a push that I needed. Not that I was slacking or giving up by any stretch, but my focus was divided. And rightly so for a little while. I needed to settle down, get used to my new surroundings out here where I am in Bakersfield right now, and kind of just breathe, kind of regroup, and financially regroup as well. Which shows paychecks that while I was there, I mean, they did the trick. They helped me continue and helped me be able to drive to LA and shoot that and all that. But after that commercial, I came back and I just realized people work a long time for a gig like that. I mean, that's when you don't have any experience, that was just such a crazy thing to happen. It's hard to explain for people who may not be in the industry or whatever, but it's not an easy job to get. It's not. Anytime it's a commercial, especially on that caliber, it's not easy. But it happened. And when I came back, I had to make the decision. I was at odds with it, and my mom ordered it best. She told me, Nick, you didn't move all the way from Texas to California to be tending bar and taking food orders. Which, if that's what I have to do to get there, I'll do whatever it takes, but almost whatever it takes. But when she said that, it was was in my mind. At that point, that was an opportunity that's opening up a lot of doors. Or I'm hoping it will. It seems like it can. And for me to have my attention divided after a blessing like that felt wrong. And I knew I'd rather be on that hustle with this push driving me than to be stable at that job where my attention's divided between what I love and what I have to do what I love. So I quit that job. I put in my 2 weeks notice, and everybody up there was gracious about it. They all knew I was an actor. They knew the situation, and I just explained I knew I wasn't getting that job thinking that I was only going to be there a few months, but I knew I had to go with the flow. And since then, I've just been trying to submit. Sent out my first self-tape in a while the other day, and just kind of been going. And it's an energy shift, and it's crazy how much can change in 6 months. And I'm very proud of myself, but more than anything, I feel very, very blessed. The more I go about this journey, I learn it more and more, is that the Lord works in some mysterious ways. He really does. And sometimes it's a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie to you, but you have to understand it, and you just have to ride the wave, I feel like. I'm sure there's gonna be more hard times and low points, but along with those, there's gonna be more high points and big wins. But right now, I just feel a good shift to where I'm turning the corner into a whole different strand of things. My motivation is just getting higher and higher again. I'm starting to enjoy making content again. I'm about to start putting out videos again. It interests me again. I feel free again in a way. It feels good. It feels good. It's been a long 6 months. Some of it's been hard, but that's why I've been quiet, obviously. But from this point forward, whether it's hard times, good times, I'm going to be documenting this. I want to try and do these every week now. I just feel like I had to do this one to kind of recap the 6 months and give the basic timeline of why I've been all over the place, because it's just been a lot. But from now on, I want to keep this document style and keep sharing what I'm going through. Maybe get other people to talk about things they're going with, or what we're learning together, whether it's entertainment industry, chasing after any dream. I just want to open the conversation, open line of communication, kick back, talk about it, no filter, drink some drinks, whatever it is, and take you guys along with the ride for me. And to those of you who have any questions about any of the film stuff, continue, just shoot me a message, ask me anything at all. That's what I'm here for, to help. If I'm not, I don't know everything. I'm never going to be at a point where I know everything, just like nobody else is. But I'm not going to bullshit anybody. I'm going to share every bit of what I've experienced, what I think, my viewpoints on things, 100% no filter, and that's what I always owe everybody. Just the way I am going to always carry myself, and I'm an open book for anybody who has questions about anything at all. So, this has kind of been a lot of rambling. Hopefully that was concise enough. Maybe I'll make more videos going into more details about some of it, or reflect on some of that stuff, but it's been a crazy time. It even just passed a year since I, lost my apartment in LA. And it created a lot of thinking, but I also, a lot of like, damn, things could have gone differently, but at the same time, I'm done looking back. It's more of a feeling of, it's been a year of growth, learning, and I'm so glad that it happened this early on than later down the road, I feel like. And there's gonna be more learning moments, but very blessed to have gone through it, very blessed to have grown so much in that year, in this year, and everything that's going on with me right now, and very, very blessed, and I owe all the glory to God, and to my family and friends that just continue to support me. Yeah, thanks for watching, you guys, and keep an eye out. I want to try doing these seriously every week. They're not going to be very edited, they're not going to be over the top. I'm not trying to make them super scripted. It's literally just been me talking and rambling on. So keep an eye out for more. Another Tailgate Talk in the books. Tailgate Talk number 2 in the books. Just getting started. And until the next one, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap.